So today I thought I'd do a quick overview of an ammo option coming into the country as of late, for 8mm Mauser at least. This, of course, is Greek 8mm Mauser. There are several retailers that have been carrying this stuff, specifically Center Fire Systems, J&G Sales, Atlantic Firearms, and there may be some others too that I'm not aware of. But in any case, they've been offering it oftentimes in bulk, oftentimes for what seem like really good prices. Center Fire Systems, that's who I ordered all this from, had a deal not too long ago for 960 rounds going for $350, and they actually shipped it for free too, so this isn't one of these things where they get you with the shipping. So if you do the math, that's about 36 cents per round, which you'd be hard-pressed to find 5.56 for that price anymore today, so for 8mm Mauser, I figured I would take the risk. And the reason I use the word risk is if you look at the online discourse surrounding this stuff, you'll see a lot of offhand comments, maybe not an absolute ton, but you'll definitely see them talking about how this stuff has, high rates of misfires, hang fires, which could really turn it into a pretty bad deal, and it makes it very frustrating, kind of annoying to have to deal with ammo that behaves unpredictably. I think nobody wants that. There is some evidence for this that's kind of indirect. For example, the fact that Atlantic Firearms offers a case almost this size as part of a package deal for their Portuguese Mausers. And a lot of people take that to mean that the ammo is just not moving. People are avoiding it, and so the only way they can kind of unload it is to include it as all part of a package deal with something that people actually do want. I'm not sure whether or not that's actually true, but it kind of does seem a little bit reasonable. So I figured I would take a look at this stuff from the perspective of how good of plinking ammo it is. I'm not going to do the whole thing where I measure powder charges and all that sort of stuff. I think that speaks more to kind of the original quality of its manufacturer, which is interesting, but I think that's already kind of out there. There's definitely content on this stuff as it is. I'm really more interested in how well it's kind of held up, as far as how reliable is it as plinking ammo, the condition that it's in. Can I gather any inferences about how well it's been stored? Kind of from that perspective, is it really a good deal for just kind of your casual shooter, I guess? So first off, my batch appears to be all 1940 dated. It seems like all of it is kind of late 30s through very early 40s, no matter where you get it from or any of that sort of thing. I don't see much in the way of like really bad water spots in any of the boxes, which is a good sign. That means it hasn't been like rained on or something or had a leaky pipe over it. The ammo is actually quite dusty, as you can see here, but it wipes off very easily. I think the dust is actually just particulate from the boxes themselves. I mean, it's 80-year-old cardboard. Maybe it's like the jostling around loosens up some of the particles. I think that's what it's probably coated in. So not too bad in this regard. The worst one I've seen as far as like actual condition, it was around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Maybe I can't. Oh, right here. And so this is kind of the worst case I've seen of it being tarnished. So really not bad. I've certainly fired much sketchier ammo than that. I mean, if you compare, for instance, the Turkish stuff as it looks coming in, there's a stark difference. And this stuff is for the most part okay too, as far as safety goes, but probably worth being a little bit more careful as far as examining it before you fire. But externally, point is, it looks just fine. Of course, the next step is to actually fire some and see how reliable it is. And so I'll take 3 boxes selected at random. Well, actually, these 2 are already kind of selected at random just to show you, and I'll do another one, and I'll fire it through my Yugo M2447. And I probably won't show every last round being fired, but I'll definitely show some and report back on whether I found that this stuff is actually reliable, and hopefully that'll kind of solve for us this question of, is it really as bad as some of the internet commentary would have you believe? Or is it actually just fine and perhaps a really good investment, as they say, to, buy it cheap and stack it deep? I guess let's stay tuned for the next segment. So back from the range, all in one piece, both myself and the rifle. It went fine. I only had one issue the entire time. There was one round that needed to be struck a second time, and on that second time it went off perfectly, but everything else went off instantly, exactly the way it should. I didn't have any stuck cases or squibs or cracked cases or anything like that. No obvious signs of overpressure or anything like that. It just worked for the most part. Obviously, I was hoping for perfection. I didn't quite get that. As such, I have seen a little bit better, but I've also seen much, much worse. And it certainly wasn't bad enough to become frustrating or bad enough to become a bad deal. So overall, I'm actually still reasonably satisfied with this stuff.
For plinking ammo, it's really not too bad. I think it definitely is better than some would suggest, as far as saying that this is just kind of junk ammo that they're trying to unload or something like that. It for the most part, is not too terrible. That's really kind of all I can say, I suppose, at least based on my experience. You also got to consider it is, a little over 80 years old. And for something of that age, I think it's actually just fine. Certainly, there are going to be more recent surplus ammos that maybe have been stored for sure better, that are going to perform a little bit better than that, but it really isn't too terrible. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't be too scared to buy this stuff and kind of stock up on it. I don't shoot my Mausers in absolute tons, so this one case is probably enough to last a lifetime or close to it. But as such, like I said, all I can say is for me, it's not money that badly spent. So that's it for this time. Thank you for watching, as always.